Hey guys, back with our first show for probably what feels like half a year. Probably, yeah, might not be as long as that, but yeah, it kind of feels like it. Yeah, we've got the release of Blood Bowl 3 tomorrow, so that's pretty exciting. What we wanted to do is start building up the sort of community aspect of the league again. I'm feeling pretty refreshed after taking a good chunk of time off Blood Bowl 2, so lots of energy for this new season, and I'm really excited to go into the new version of the game. I'm gonna do this show it's got two parts to it. So this first bit, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about next season, what our plans are, plans for the show, and then in the second part of the show, which will still be in the same video, we're going to do a feature with a special guest. We're going to have a talk about some of the new teams and some of the possible changes that you guys want to be aware of for Blood Bowl 3. So to start off, I put the website as a background for this because, yeah, I don't actually have access to the game yet, and I thought it was probably a good place to start. Let's just have a reminder. Let's put the league winners up. Obviously, Death on the Pitch has run under numerous names over the past few years. I'd actually like to go back and look at how long Death on the Pitch in its various forms has been running. Because I know it's probably started about 10 years ago on Fumble, but anyway, we've just counted the Blood Bowl 2 winners. So again, the first sort of initiation of Death on the Pitch, you've got Crazy and Beard picking up 2 wins there, myself picking up a win, Mishi picking up a win season 3, and Show Me Magic. I always forget that he's actually won a season, picking up a win there. And then in the sort of more modern era, where we went under the name of Chillax for a little bit, we had Candy, Big Floor, Deaton and Magic. They've shared that victory because the game didn't actually get played in the end. Got Avenged, Crespo, Big Floor, myself, Grid, Iron, and then we've got 2 more winners to come. The next season is just simply going to be called Season 1. We'll just reset it for the we'll reset it for the new edition of the game. Which I know a lot of you are moving over to fairly quickly, which is great. And those that aren't, hopefully, once you see how much fun we're all having, you guys will pick that up. So, just to break it down, I'll just run through a couple of the rules that we put together. Let's go back onto our titles. Oh, let's sit on our legendary players page for a little bit. We'll have a look through these guys in a bit, but basic sort of rules and stuff for next season. So depending on player numbers, and again, I know not everyone's going over straight away. If we get 14 players or less, I think we've currently had 10 sign up so far, and I know there's a couple of people joining that haven't signed up yet. We're going to run 1 division with the top 8 going into playoffs. If we get more than 14, we'll run 2 divisions, and in that case, there'll be 2 divisions of like 8 or 10, and the top 4 of each will go into a playoffs to determine the winner there. Race limits is something that we've always imposed. We're actually going to be removing this. With the new edition, we don't want anyone to be forced onto a team that they don't want to play. I imagine, there's going to be some popular ones. I think Black Orcs will be popular, normal Orcs, Dwarfs, I think we'll see a large number of. But for this first season or seasons, we just wanted to give people freedom of choice. When we come round to, the next set of seasons that we're running, if we're finding that everyone's just going to the same 2 teams, we'll probably put something in place then. But yeah, for now, have at it, pick what you want. The format, so everyone that's played in the league before will be familiar with this. We'll do a time period of 2 seasons. At the end of the second season, everyone has to re-roll their team. So seasons 1 and 2 will be done under a time bracket. Seasons 3 and 4 will be done under a time bracket. 5 and 6, and so on. You can refresh your teams between season. So if by the end of season 1 you're sick of your Chaos Renegades, which will probably be my case, you can take a brand new fresh team into the second season. Now, in Blood Bowl 2, that used to be really crappy, but with the inducements, the star players being cheaper, things like that, it's actually not too bad being the underdog in Blood Bowl 3. Well, I say Blood Bowl 3, I've never played it, but in the tabletop version, it's not actually that bad to go in. There's no redrafting, so we can't bring that in yet, but when it does come in, there'll be a vote on, do we implement redrafting, and how do we do that? Do we then start running as a like Eternal League? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I imagine it's many patches away yet. Pitch rules, which is something that is on tabletop but not commonly used, and definitely in Blood Bowl 3. What we want to do is, over the next week or two, is test it out. So, you know, if they are really interesting and they bring some variety to the games that's quite enjoyable, then we'll implement them. If they're buggy and they're not working, then obviously we can't include those. I'd like to have them on a personal note, but yeah, it's gotta work. So yeah. Round times. So again, we're going to stick with the week time frames because they've been working really well. We're going to start Mondays 8 o'clock UK, 9 o'clock EU. Well, it depends where in the EU you are, but yeah. And with the no extension rule, because that's actually worked really well for us. What I found is whenever we did extensions, those games ended up still not getting played, and it has a knock-on effect on everyone else. So I've liked keeping them short and sharp. We get very few missed games since we've implemented this. So yeah, I think it's been great. Kickoff. Well, as you know, we still have our Blood Bowl 2 league running, so thanks Magic. No, joking aside, we're going to give everyone a couple of weeks to get used to the game. You know, get them, get those like week 1, week 2 patches out of the way, and we're going to look to kick off the season on the 6th of March, which is not too long away. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks. And it gives everyone a chance to get paid as well, so those people that are waiting for payday, they don't miss out. If we'd done it on the 27th, again, we'd probably have a group of people that were still waiting another 24 hours before they get paid, so it just seemed to make sense. On that note, any coach that was barred from a previous season, if you want to take part in the league, you need to reach out to us before let's say Friday of next week, so that's the 24th. So please drop me a direct message and we'll have a look. We will take into consideration like why you dropped out, you know, your contribution to the league and things like that. And again, we'll be having a strict no concession, no dropout rule for Blood Bowl 3, just because it impacts everyone else so much if someone drops out because they rolled a snake or something like that. Concessions and missed games. So yeah, basically missed games. If we can find that like a coach is at fault, the other guy gets a 2-0 win. Otherwise, we'll do a draw if it looks like both coaches are unavailable. Mid-season dropouts and mid-match concessions will again result in being removed from the league. There's nothing wrong with just laying your players down. I've got no problem with that. But yeah, just conceding a game because your player died is just not fair on everyone else. And like I say, I've done it, so I understand the emotions you go through there. But yeah, we're going to try and iron that out if possible. So there's a load of other rules but they are fairly similar to the ones we already have in place now in our rules section on the website, which I will show you here, which I'm sure none of you have ever looked at. But yeah, like code of conducts, things like that. I'll get this page updated. Yeah, I'll get this page updated before the season starts. But yeah, just something to be aware of, really. Yeah, and I guess so. We covered off rules, race limits, formats, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. I guess that's probably the end of this first section. So yeah, I will probably join you in about 10-15 seconds, however long the transition song slide page takes, and yeah, we'll be joined by a special guest. We're going to be talking about our thoughts on Blood Bowl 3, or sorry, can't talk about that. Our thoughts on the new rule set, and we'll also have a discussion around the teams that are going to be available on release, and what we think about them, and yeah, just general general fun stuff. So I will catch you all very, very shortly. Hello guys, and welcome to part 2 of our weekly show. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Stephen O'Toole. Stephen, how you doing?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty damn good. Also, there must be some people who don't know who I am, right? There's some new faces.
I don't know if anyone would remember you, to be honest, but
There's got to be someone. Well, I got something to maybe refresh some memories. You know what I'm saying? A little something. Here, do I have to stand up? Maybe if I stand up. Is this bringing anything back? Is it bringing any memories back? Hmm? What are we saying? What are we saying over there?
I fucking forgot. I forgot
So,
about that.
yeah, this is who I am, and this is what I do.
I'm so glad.
Maybe.
I'm so glad you didn't tell me about that.
Couldn't.
I'm crying.
I couldn't. Some things you just gotta go for it.
Oh, that fucking bell.
So anyways, what were we saying?
Don't care anymore.
Part two of whatever this is. Y'all thought you got rid of me, didn't you? Y'all thought you got rid of me. No, it wasn't a nightmare. It's for real. I'm back, and this time with a vengeance, boys.
Oh god.
With a freaking vengeance.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Well, on a personal note, before we get into it, I'm very, very glad you're back. I do think the league wasn't the same without you, so I'm really excited to have you back in, and all the energy that you bring, and you know, all those countless defenses if you belt. I'm assuming you're putting that up for grabs on Tuesday when we do the community night.
Really? Right away? You want to come at me right away?
I mean, I'm probably not going to win, but sure.
Okay, I'll put it up.
That was some heavy trash talk. I feel like I've got a 40% chance of taking that off you.
I think I had like a 30% win rate in my Blood Bowl 2 entire span. There was a good 4 months I could not win a game. And I was pumping out like 2 or 3 a day. I was just like, yo.
I genuinely think, right? I genuinely think that you help take, because when I look at my win rate, my account tells me, non-CCL, it tells me I'm like a 70% coach. And it must be like those 28 games against us.
You just farmed me for months. You're like, yeah. I'm gonna teach this guy how to play. Just terrible advice. I'm fair, sitting there.
So the best advice I could probably give is shit advice. I'm fucking terrible at Blood Bowl. I'm going into this with a new mindset. I took quite a lot of time off, And then I came back and just started playing a little bit of Fumble here and there. And I've got to a point where I don't give a shit about winning. And I'm just looking to try and have some fun.
I don't care either.
Experiment with some teams. The thing is, mate, when you've won the league as many times as I have, you don't feel.
How many
like
you got? You got one?
2.
You got one win?
2.
You got 2? Oh, okay.
So
wow, you're almost in the same.
Here is the original trophy.
It's just a blurry piece of shit. I don't even think that's real.
No, it is. I've definitely bought it myself. And then this is from a NAF
This
event.
is real. Can you hear this?
That's a third place at a NAF event. I mean,
wow, a bronze. You kept that.
And then, this is from the Red Lion Cup, the prestigious Blood Bowl League Red Lion Cup. So I've got a few. And technically, I need another Death on the Pitch one, but I didn't feel like ordering another trophy for myself because I thought the first one was sad enough. But you've gone and done a belt. I feel like maybe I need a belt for that. That second win. How much?
There's just one belt.
How much was that belt? Before we get into this, how much did that cost you?
This was a lifetime of grinding and sweat and tears and blood and And then there was just like, I had to take on an entire island of women. Every single one there. And there's tears. There was nerd raging. Oh, I made this one guy quit like 4 or 5 times.
I didn't know I was
so many blue screens. Oh yeah, you were there. You were there. You were a speed bump. The convoy was coming through, and that was mayhem.
To be fair, I think in our last set, maybe our last 10 games, every single one of them was a blue screen from one of the two of us, and all of them we both left chat. I think what the problem was, we shit talked each other so much. There was so much pressure to win those games on an already.
There were sweaty matches.
There was
so much more on the line. There's so much more than some stat.
I could have lost every other game. I could have gone full Iron Serious as long as I beat you, and that's the one thing. Like I won that season, and it didn't mean anything because I lost the fucking league match to you. That's why I don't have a trophy for the last one. That's why I don't have a trophy for the last one, because I fucking lost to those Dark Elves.
You didn't earn it. Those freaking Dark Elves. They were just starting to get good too.
Yeah.
I had like 3 strength ups.
I
had the freaking.
I think if we'd run into each other in the playoffs, I don't think I would have beaten you, because I think that team was too good skill-wise. And then I think you would have gone and played Grid in the final, and then it would have been just the toss-up over who won.
Yeah, I think I tied Grid when I played him.
He won the
I had a lot of ties.
Season. Mate, I the only way I beat him was by double GFIing with the Rotter, with the Beast and Nurgle. It was filthy.
With the Beast?
Yeah, mate, I wish I had the replay of that game, because it was just filthy. Just every time I hit one of his rats, it exploded, and he was still just absolutely running circles around me. I've come to the conclusion that I'm just shit at Blood Bowl, but I'm alright with it now, because now that I've accepted it and I don't feel pressure to build that win rate, I can just play my dumb teams and enjoy myself. That's what I'm going for.
I'll be right there with you. I'll be right there. Hail Mary pass on the freaking Kislev.
We're saying all this now on Tuesday. As soon as one of us goes 1-0 up, the other's fucking uninstalling the game.
Yeah. There's just the disconnect.
It's that. So
it'll be good times.
I know what we wanted to talk about today was the new teams. You had a quick look over the rules last night. Did anything pop out? Because obviously, for a lot of people, this is going to be their first time on the new edition.
Yeah, well, I skimmed it, and the thing is, I never really read the Blood Bowl 2 rule set or whatever they had.
I'm not shocked to hear that.
No, it's trial and error on that one. And then, so it's hard to know, when they are talking about all this stuff, I felt like a lot of the terms of things that existed were just kind of renamed. So there's all this different terminology, which kind of confused me. Long pass is, what was it? Or strong arm is different now.
You're like,
anyway,
what the hell's a 3+? Does anyone else know what a 3+ is? I play elves, so I don't know what that bullshit is.
Yeah, I was like, wow, thanks for nerfing me into the ground. And then, so yeah, I was a little lost on like what everything kind of means, or how it compared to Blood Bowl 2. Also, I was looking in because the game has the currency, the Warp Stone.
Oh yeah.
And then,
some premium currency there.
yeah, and I think the thing to do with that, from what I've read so far, is you buy stadiums with it.
Nope, completely wrong.
What? You don't buy stadiums?
No, you buy like headdresses for your
Oh,
characters.
some flavor.
Yeah, it's all like just customizable character stuff.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Because I was also reading that you can grind out. So I guess when they come out with their like expansion team, so they're going to be dropping a new race every once in a while.
I believe the
that's
term
going to be
is
their new
Blutpass. The Blutpass.
What?
That's what they're releasing.
How do you say that?
Blutpass.
Blutpass.
The Blutpass, yeah.
the Blutpass. Oh, okay. That's how they pronounce it. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yes. So, yeah, the summary of that is you can either just buy it and get the new team instantly, or you can just like grind your life away, like maybe play 4.5 million games in 3 weeks, or however long the period is, and you get the team for free at the end. That's what they said, but this is also from a company that told us that early access is 48 hours before the game release, which would be Tuesday, and it's actually coming out tomorrow. So I'm not sure if they understand what the numbers are and time. Like time itself is quite a complex concept. You either understand it or you don't, and I'm not sure that Cyanide have truly mastered what 48 hours is. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go through the teams, have a look, see what your thoughts are, because I thought you always have quite a unique eye at looking at teams and seeing the positives there that not necessarily everyone else would see. So I thought it'd be good to kind of run through your first reactions. So the first one we're going to take a look at, and first, thank you to Fumble as well. We're going to use your website. I've not asked for permission, but I'm just going to assume it's okay. Let's hide that down there. Yeah, so here we go. First up, we've got Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got 0 to 12 Goblin Bruise alignment. We're only going to go through the release teams, by the way. We're not going to go through all the teams. Movement 6, Strength 2, Agility 3, Pass 4+, AV 8+. Do you know the new AV rules?
No.
So AV 8+ is what you have to roll to beat it. So it's like it's old AV 7. It's now 8+.
Holy, say that again.
So yeah, AV 7 in Blood Bowl 2 is AV 8+ in Blood Bowl 3 because you have to roll 8 or more to beat it.
Okay. So it's garbage. That's what you're telling me.
I mean, it's they've got Right Stuff, Dodge, Stunty. I don't think Stunty gives a minus to pass anymore, actually. And Thick Skull.
That's good.
That's actually really good. 45k for these guys. You can have up to 6 Black Orcs. Movement 4, Strength 4, Edge 4, Pass 5+, AV 10+. They've got Brawler and Grab. Do you know what Brawler is?
No, I don't know what Right Stuff is either.
So Right Stuff basically allows you to get thrown.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Or it used to. I've not actually reread that rule in the new book. Brawler is on blocks only, not blitzes. If you roll a both down, you can re-roll that specific dice without using the team re-roll. If you roll 2 both downs, you can re-roll just one of them for free. Or you can use a team re-roll. You can't do both, if you know what I mean. So if you choose to use the Brawler re-roll, you then can't use a team re-roll on all of it. So it just gives you more reliable blocking early on if you get that like 1 in 9 in your first block or something.
Okay.
And then Grab is basically the opposite of Sidestep. So it's the same squares, but the blocker chooses. Those bad boys are 90k each. And then you've got the Trained Troll. That's the difference. They've trained them now between the versions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Movement 4.
What does that give you?
Strength 5. Shit. Armor 10. Loner 3+. And again, Loner rolls can differ depending on the piece. So some have a 4-up loner reroll, some have a 3-up. So that's part of the trainer.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
Yep. Mighty Blow +1. Projectile Vomit. This is new, and this is actually really good. So you roll a 2-up. So you roll your Really Stupid, which hasn't changed. You then roll your Projectile Vomit, so it's a 2-up to do it. Otherwise, you vomit on yourself. And then you just do a straight armor roll. And if you beat it, you beat it. It's like stab, basically. If you fail your Projectile Vomit and vomit on yourself, you do not turn. It's not a turnover. So you can keep going. So it's really good if you've got like a blodge player next to the troll. Sometimes you can just like vomit on them and be like, bleh, and they're gone. I use it quite a lot in NAF actually. It's quite good. So.
And regen, nice.
Regen I think is going to be pretty big in this edition. So what are your thoughts? What's jumping out at you? You feeling?
Well, what's jumping out? Not much. Like they still have only 3 different positions, so you're kind of be limited. In my head, you're gonna want to max out the Black Orcs, get out the Troll, and then what? 4 Goblins?
Yeah. So the main build that people take is either 1 Troll, 6 Black Orcs, 4 Goblins, 2 rerolls, or they drop the Troll and take a 3rd reroll.
What I do kind of like is that the Troll's always kind of... I like it because they always keep you in it. So this is like the big strength team that you have that chance of getting like that 1-turner. You know?
Yeah.
It's super low probability, but at least you have a chance. I like the Brawler thing. I really like the Brawler.
Yeah. I found, because I've played a little bit of Black Orcs on tabletop, and I know Magic has played a lot of them. I found Brawlers okay, but on the big ones, you want to use your team reroll still.
Yeah, the big moments.
Yeah. Another thing as well, dedicated fans, obviously it increases the amount of money you earn, but it doesn't add to your TV bloat anymore. So like Fan Factor used to stack up against you, doesn't do that anymore. And I think like each dedicated fan is like a guaranteed 5,000 after a match or something like that. So people can invest quite heavily in dedicated fans early on. Okay, so that's the Black Orcs. Interesting.
Yeah, they'll be fouling a lot. They'll be fouling.
Bashing, fouling. I think that's the main thing, and fouling is a lot more prevalent in this edition.
Yeah, because you can argue the calls, can't you?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good rule to bring up. So everyone can argue the call. Oh shit, we should also cover their special rule. Bribery and corruption means that I think they can get rerolls for 50, not rerolls, bribes for 50k, and they also get like a better argue the call. So I think
that's all going to be in Blood Bowl 3.
Yes, I believe
the
so.
special rules.
Oh, nice. They should be. Okay. If they're not, like, I don't know what the hell they've been doing. But yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, next up we've got the Imperial Nobility, which is the other like main starter team as part of the pre-order stuff. So
this is who I'm looking at right away. Freaking first out of the gate. This is who I'm looking at.
Okay, interesting. So what's I'll ask you to tell us what's drawing you to them.
Well, because with that big boy freaking package that you get with the early access, you get customization. So, right away, I was like, it's gonna be orcs or Imperial Nobility, and I just feel like the majority of people are gonna lean towards orcs, so I was gonna go with these guys right away. And then I want to, whatever this customization means, I'm gonna take it to the limit.
I mean, they've got some nice pieces, right? So they've got the ogre. I've not seen a lot of the Imperial Nobility. However, I have seen a hell of a lot of Black Orcs. But yeah, so I think these guys are supposed to be good, but I've not really played as them. You've got the linemen, and I think these almost translate direct to the old Burt linemen's. They're 45k, but they got Fend, AV 7 or 8, depending on how you want to look at it. You've got the Imperial Throwers who've got pass and running pass, and I actually didn't bother.
Running pass is cool.
Does that mean you can move after you've passed?
Yeah, so you can move, pass, and then move again, I think. So you can like throw on the run, and then at least that's how I interpreted it when I read it.
Yeah, but you're still only getting your 6 squares, right? So it's like you could do like a two movement, a handoff, and then 3 more to create a screen or something.
Yeah.
You got the bodyguards here, stand firm, wrestle. That's actually a really cool piece. I like the looks of those.
That's 2 skills right away. That's nice, yeah.
Yep. And 2 big ones as well. Yeah, they're really nice to have. Then you've got the blitzers. So you got block catch on both of those. Movement 7, so they're really fast. AV 9 plus. Quite expensive, but yeah, they look like your main receivers, I guess.
Those are the playmakers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be tough because I always found two catchers isn't enough. Not for the way I like to throw the freaking pigskin around.
Yeah.
2 is just so easy to lock down and then target. Yeah. But block, that's kind of nice.
And then, yeah, Ogre. So you'll notice you got the loan of 4 plus on this guy because he's not trained. It's not a trained Ogre.
The fuck? How is it that orcs can train their trolls and the imperial nobility is bringing in some freaking ogre?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense actually. But yeah, yeah,
wow.
pretty big piece there. So yeah, the standard builds we've got in here. So you got 2 blitzers, 3 bodyguards, 1 thrower, 5 roadblocks, 3 rerolls on that. Oh my, there's so many of these. I'll cover the bottom one as well. So there's one with an ogre, 2 blitzers, 4 bodyguards, 4 linos, no throwers, and 1 reroll. God, that's a terrible start.
1 reroll?
Oh man, the starts for these are rough. There's 2 blitzers.
Yeah, they're always expensive.
Okay, I think this is probably the one you land on. So 2 blitzers, 2 bodyguards, 1 thrower, 5 linos, 1 ogre, and 2 rerolls. I mean, rerolls wise, you're okay because you've got block, wrestle, catch, pass. I think you got a lot of skills in there, so you need it for like your pickup basically, and any go for it. But yeah, that's an interesting one. So you thinking those out the back, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's who I'm leaning towards, unless someone comes in and freaking can convince me otherwise. But that's
Well, let me see if I can.
I think I'm gonna go with that. So I'm gonna take the 3 rerolls.
There's a team I'm gonna try and convince you to play very shortly. So next up, we're gonna look at the Chaos Chosen. So they've got a. I'm not gonna cover the special rules. Can't be bothered.
Only one of the following big guys. What?
Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay.
There's better options for that later. Trust me. Beastmen 60k, Horns they've not changed, Warriors not changed 100k. I think that's the same as they were in the old one. So yeah.
Yeah, kind of the thing that sucked with these guys is not having the block on the big guys.
Yeah, and the star. Everyone's so expensive that you can get pretty stuck if you take a bad build. So there's like build wise, you've got the standard 4 warriors, 7 beastmen, 3 rerolls. That was like this is a good build on Blood Bowl 2. There's a Minotaur build, which is your old one from Blood Bowl 2, which is 2 rerolls, a Minotaur, 3 Chaos Warriors, and 7 Beastmen. It's not great.
Is the minnow not been tweaked at all?
So yeah, the Minotaur, I think it's still the same.
What's Unchanneled Fury?
I think it's the same as Wild Animal. It's close enough. It's close enough that I can't be bothered to look it up. Thick Skull, maybe that's new, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But yeah, he feels the same. And he's the expensive one. I never understood why Minotaurs have such bad armor. I think they should be higher up, but I guess it's no, because they're not even quicker. They're not even quicker than the ogres. Yeah, I always thought that was a bit weird. They should definitely increase the armor on them. But yeah, there is a new build that that Chaos have now in this edition, and it's the Troll because it's quite cheap. It's only 115 as opposed to 140 or 150. You get your 4 warriors, your 6 beastmen, and you get 2 rerolls. So it's almost like the old Mino build, but you get that fourth warrior. So you've got that solid line of just meat.
Yeah.
And then you've got 2 rerolls to support that. And I think one of the things about this version is as well, you earn money a lot quicker. So you can get that second reroll very, very fast, or that third reroll very, very quickly. So if I was playing these guys, I'd probably go either the Minotaur build or the Troll build. I have got an Ogre build on Fumble at the moment, actually, and that's doing really well. So the Ogre works well, and I think that's quite cool. They've given them a little bit more life and a little bit more interest, I think, by just giving them that variety in big guy. It just freshens them up a little bit.
Yeah. So when you call it like Chaos Troll, Chaos Ogre, what does that like Chaos thing mean? Do they get anything for that?
So because it's the Chaos version, yeah, that's actually a good question. They get mutations on a normal.
Oh, nice. You
So
can
they
get
can go,
mutation
yeah, they can just go straight onto
on a
claw, straight
freaking
onto
ogre
tentacles. Yeah,
on an ogre.
you could have a 2-headed ogre dodging on a
What?
3+. Yeah, you could do if you wanted to. Put 2 heads on it. You could put
Freaking an ogre just dodging around the field.
yeah,
Put the
prehensile
ball
tail
on
on
him.
him.
Put the ball on him.
There's a cool skill that I'm going to use against you a lot, which is called armbar, which basically adds mighty blow to your failed dodges. So you can do loads of nasty things. But yeah, no, it's quite cool. I quite like it, and it's one of the 3 teams that I'm thinking of taking in the league. Actually, Chaos. I thought about going
Yeah.
like tier 1 try
This is
hard,
right up your alley.
but then
It's
I was
right
like,
up your alley.
I need a shit team that's going to let me down as soon as possible. And I was like, Orcs just aren't going to do that. They'll work too well. Chaos Renegades. Now, this has got me interested. Don't know if you've seen these guys before. So you can take human linemen's, just basically a standard. So movement 6, armor 8. You got a human thrower who is fucking terrible. Safe pair of hands is not sure hands, just to be really clear.
Wait, why is this thrower so trash?
He's just shit, mate. This safe pair of hands is so bad that I remember reading it and going, "That's terrible." I now can't remember what it is, but I'm not going to look it up again because I just know it was so dog shit.
A safe pair, though. You got 2 of them.
Safe pair, yeah. You've got a Renegade Goblin. Again, mutation access straight away. Renegade Orc. Oh, my dog's going crazy. So just an Orc lineman. You've got a Renegade Skaven. And a Renegade Dark Elf. So the way I use it, wow. So this guy's my ball carrier. The Skaven
ball
guy.
carrier is the elf?
Yeah, run it. I turn him into a running back. Take Blodge on him.
Oh, okay.
Blodge step. Just use him for scores. The Skaven dude, I go like wrestle, tackle, turn him. Or sometimes horns wrestle or something like that, and turn them into a free safety. I use the Orc on the line. Goblin just goblins about, and then the real point of playing this team, you get up to 3 of the following big guys. The Renegade Troll, which is a loner 4+ because he's not trained. The Renegade Ogre and the Renegade Minotaur, or the Renegade Rat Ogre. So, unlike the Chaos variants, they don't have mutations as a normal. It's a double for them. So you're talking 12 SPP to pick your first one. I think it's 18 to pick your second. I've got the book behind me, but I can't be asked to check. But yeah, you can take 3 of those. I tend to take Renegade Troll, Ogre, and then the Minotaur. Because I think with the Minotaur or the Rat Ogre, I think you want one or the other because they're your blitz piece. The benefit the Rat Ogre has is Animal Savagery, which is if you fail the 2+ to activate, you can choose to punch one of your own players and then still do what you wanted to. So it's pretty good.
Who's that?
That's the Rat Ogre.
So okay.
Been massive.
And he's got the tail too.
Prehensile tail. Mighty blow. And I think one of the big things.
There?
Yeah. Just the throat's going a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the things is in the new edition, the big guys, you can get block on them by just saving up, and you're guaranteed to get it. So you get them to 12 SPP, and you can just buy block. So
yeah,
good.
that's the other thing I was reading is because you can save up and buy, or you can just go with like the random.
Yeah.
And just freaking gamble.
Oh,
I
by
don't
the
know if I'm
way,
gonna be able.
the random skills are so dog shit. They're so fucking dog shit. Anyone that does them, it is. I think in a league format where it matters, I think it's a terrible
Yeah,
idea. I think if you're doing like a CCL run and you're just trying to get that perfect team and just re-rolling and you can start the team 4 billion times. Yeah, you could probably have a run where you get like you save 40 TV, but I think it's just better to save and pick what you want. What I do like is on some of the cheaper players, like let's say you get 200k in the bank. I did this before actually with one of my fumble teams. Is if you got loads of money in the bank and it's like the first level up, I'll random mutation them, and if they get something decent, I'll keep that player and I'll use that to guide their development. And if it's crap, I'll just fire them and buy a new one. So there's situations where it can be quite good, but I think overall it's for me it's not great. And
okay.
yeah,
And
obviously,
the special rules, anything special?
it's around like what star players you get basically,
Oh, okay.
because some star players only work for Korn or Nurgle or something like that, so you just pick which one you want. Korn's usually a good one to pick. So yeah, that I'd like to see you play those. There's a strong chance I'm going to play them. I tried to talk myself out of it, and then I've seen some video clips of three big guys on the field at the same time, and I'm like, oh, I think I've got to do that. I think I've got to do that.
Yeah, I really like the amount of options you have here.
Yeah, it's mental. It's mental, and the goblins quite fun. Just use them as a fowler. Okay, next up, dark elves.
Oh yeah.
So you've got your
Uh-oh.
linemen. I think they're the same. You've got your runners with dump off, AV7 on those guys. Four blitzers with block, and then you've
Yeah,
got
it's the
two
same.
assassins with shadowing and stab, and then you've got two witch
And then,
elves.
yeah, the thing I noticed with these guys in this version is the assassins have an additional movement.
Oh, okay. I hadn't noticed that.
So that shadowing would, that's a buff for shadowing. I might have to, if when it comes to league play, this is who I'm leaning towards. Is these boys right here. Just they're so freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Not a fan of dump off though. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it can catch you off guard. I had it in a fumble game the other day, but all it meant is that I declared the blitz. You do the dump off at the point it's declared, not at the point of the hit. That's
Mm-hmm.
another like thing with the rule changes. They tend to be like at point of declaration now rather than point of impact. So all I did is I declared the blitz against the guy with the ball. He passed it to the guy next to him, and I went, okay, well, I'm just not going to blitz him. I'm just going to run and base that guy. So in some ways, I think it's worse because your opponent can then react to what you've done rather than an offload, as you'd call it in rugby, as the player hits you.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you've shit your pants because you can see the player coming, as opposed to a tactical pass now.
Yeah, I always found it was like, yeah, that decision is always like, do I put it into this guy's hand who I don't really want it to be in? And then
That could
freaking
get
hell.
misquoted. Uh,
Who would do that? Who would do that?
That's definitely going to be a sound clip. It's going to be a sound clip.
Yeah, dump off's terrible.
So what are your thoughts here? Are they something you're probably going to run in the league, or?
Yeah, this is who I'm leaning towards. And then because I'll be running an assassin too. I do not care, but I'm also bringing 4 freaking blitzers. So if I can't fit an assassin in, 4 blitzers because so the last time I ran this, I went with the twin assassins because I wanted to know everything about these things because it's just a unique um piece in the game, and I thought stab is just there's no better opening action than stabbing. There's always that chance. There's always that chance you take out a freaking big guy with it.
You'd have to draw. Or you're not going to be able to do 4 blitzers and an assassin. You'd have to do 3 blitzers, 1 assassin, and 2 rerolls. That would be the start. Just looking at the where the money folds around.
I don't think you can. No, yeah, you need the 4 blitzers. You need the like 4 block.
Yeah, I think though, what's it, 85k? I think you probably have that after 2 games. With the new money. I think there's a good chance that you could afford that pretty quick. So, yeah, I think you could do okay. That's going to be the interesting thing because the passing has been nerfed, but there's more money in the game now. So are elves going to be as screwed when they get punched a lot? Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and also like the first 12 starting races, there's it's tough. It's tough because there's none of those like weak teams. Like there's no no Norse. There's no
Norse are not weak anymore. The new Norse are just insane.
Because they still have low AV though.
Yeah, mate, they're bonkers. They really are. They are absolutely bonkers now. The new Norse. They're a top tier team for sure.
That's the team I own in real life. Like I have the actual team and the minis and everything, but I've never been able to play them.
You will do well if you find a local league. Just don't turn up with the belt on. Right, we'll look at dwarfs. Obviously, the thing to talk about is
the dwarfs, huh?
Yeah, the no.
What's this Elven Kingdoms League? Before we get on to dwarves, what's Elven Kingdom League special rules?
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
It's an elf rule. I've not looked it up.
Come on.
There's no way I've looked at that. It's in the book behind me, but I'm not opening it. I refuse.
You refuse to open the book?
Yeah.
All right. We'll find out. We'll find out day 1 of the league. Special rules.
Yeah.
Hope it means I can bring an assassin onto the field for free.
I doubt it, but all power to you if it is. So yeah, with dwarfs, obviously their hard counter claw, mighty blow, piling on is now no longer a thing. Obviously you can have claw and mighty blow, but they no longer stack on the same dice roll. And piling on is now it's been replaced by pile driver, which is actually a foul action. So I don't think you get.
We talking about dwarves?
I'm just saying the counter to them, so the people that
will
be necessarily not looking forward to. Oh my god, I need to turn those Discord notifications off. So you've got the dwarf lineman blockers, block, tackle, thick skull. They haven't changed. Just high armor. You've got 2 runners. I mean, the dwarfs are the fucking same. There's just no claw pom to counter them now. So dwarfs will do well in this edition. The models are cool, and they've got a steamroller. Yeah, let's move on. I think my partner's decided to go on the rowing machine in the room above us, so the audio for this next 10 minutes is going to be fucking terrible. But
I can't hear it.
Okay, I can, but we'll see. We'll see how much is going over. So Elven Union, obviously you're a bit of an Elven Union's expert here. So
yeah, I played these guys in the beta.
What your thoughts?
Just that throwing was so much more difficult. Like it's something that you like. That was like the strength out of the box, and then putt, yeah. And then this one, I was like, yo, like the rolls are too hard.
Yeah, I mean, if I was ever to play elves, and I do get the idea to do it every now and again, I'll be sat there just like in a work meeting, and I'm like, fuck, I should really try elves. But if I ever did try elves, I think it would be Elven Union. And I think the blitzers were just awesome. Block step straight away. AV8. They're not the most expensive. Well, they are expensive, but they're not crazy. Well, they're pretty crazy actually, aren't they? You can get some pretty good starting rosters as well. So 2 blitzers, catcher, thrower, 7 linos, 3 rerolls. Considering now you can use multiple rerolls a turn, so if you have to score, you can pretty or almost guarantee it unless you roll a snake. It looks like a good roster to me, and I still see on Fumble there's some high level coaches still playing pro elves, and all they do is that DACA thing where they pull back and they let you commit, and then they go around like one side of you or something like that. So that plays, I still I feel still on. But yeah, maybe they took a bit of it.
For these builds, what I liked doing was not having the thrower right away and getting in something else. So you have somebody else throwing it because you get that one SPP per throw. But you can't do that in this one. Like, you need this dude with freaking pass.
Yeah, it's bad.
So yeah, it's freaking hard. It's hard.
Your blitzer throws the same as a human lineman, I think, in the old edition. So it is bad. But it does calm elves down a little bit. I think that was for someone that didn't play them but played as them a lot. It was annoying that they could do everything on a 2-up with every single player. But I can accept it now that, you know, they all do their dodges on a 2-up, that's fine, and they can pass on a 2-up. But if someone who's not a passer picks the ball up, it's harder for them. I feel like that's a little bit more fluffy rather than them just being a good block of stats, if you know what I mean. They feel like they're more like positionals now.
Yeah, Nerves of Steel is still a freaking great stat or skill.
Did they used to have it on the throwers or just the catchers?
No, just the catchers. Yeah.
Did you?
And that was something I was always tempted. I was always tempted to. No, I would run 2 different throwers. I would have my offensive one and then my defensive one. And on my defensive one, I would throw on Nerves of Steel so that he could go in there, pick the ball up, and then just throw it from that spot and have the guy tagged up that he was next to the ball.
Yeah, I think that's where because I always used to think they had it, but must have just been playing you over and over again as just
that. And you always have to like try and force. You have to kind of control your opponent's blitz, so you want them blitzing your blitzer because they have that extra AV. Otherwise, your team is just going to be short-handed.
Yeah, that is true. And there is a world where I take these in the league. But very unlikely.
You'll be side leading this.
Next up, we've got humans. I can't be bothered to look at them. Then we've
got. Is there? Are they the same?
They're fucking humans, aren't they? They're just average.
They have halflings now, though.
Oh, yeah. I guess we probably should look at these. Yeah, they got halflings. They've got a 2-up passer. Actually, ooh, okay. Ooh.
Sure hands and pass.
Okay. Hmm.
Hold on, is that even? Yeah, 80k. Let's check how much it was compared to the high elves.
High elves aren't actually in this version.
Oh, freaking high elves aren't in there?
No. Snap. That's why I preloaded all the teams that are in the game. But do you know what?
Okay, so it's 5k more than the Elven Unions passer, and you get an extra skill.
Yeah, and better armor.
Yeah. So for 5 extra K, you get sure hands and an increased armor.
That is actually a wicked piece. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then the thing about the thing that I always didn't like about humans was their catchers have that strength 2. So they're always getting like the 2 dice against them. And even with dodge, I feel like that's still kind of shit.
I'm excited here because I've just seen that they've lowered the armor on them as well to 8+ as opposed to 9+. So they were AV8 in Blood Bowl 2, weren't they? When I used to play humans back in the day, they were AV7 because they were like a light.
Oh, they went back to that.
I think that's good, but they're cheap. 65k.
Yeah,
65k for a movement 8+. Oh my god, dude! Why did I nearly skip these? These look great. These are really good.
And they have little hopeful halflings.
Yeah, so you got some 30k fouls in there. It's much cheaper than
that's great. That's great.
And then you've obviously you've got a 1-turn as well. Because you've got the ogre.
Yeah, you got the thrower. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's that's very interesting actually. Okay. Like those, they look good. So Nurgle, Nurgle's the next up.
They're in the openers. Wow.
Yeah, very excited.
And you're not gonna start with these guys.
I might. The 3 teams.
Yeah, you will.
The 3 teams. The 3 teams I had it down to before we jumped on the call tonight was Chaos Renegades, and Nurgle. I saw those Pro Elves and I'm like, but I probably won't. But if you ask me right now, I am taking Nurgle if you give me another hour to deliberate, I might take Renegades or Chaos, but I'm still deciding. The Rotters have changed quite a lot. So they're no longer agility 3 anymore, they're agility 4. So for ball handling, they're a bit worse.
Wow.
Decay has changed though. So decay now adds 1 onto the permanent injury roll, not the casualty dice where you're working out if it's a KO or a death or a serious injury. It's the injury result after that is just +1. In the old edition, you rolled the injury dice twice, so you could get broken arm and dead, and you'd have to take both of them. So I actually think that +1 is way better than the old rule. And also the price is down to 35k. So you have a strength 3, movement 5 piece that can foul for 35k. Super, super cheap. These are a candidate for random skill ups. Pestigores.
Oh yeah, the cheap guys. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Pestigores, Horns, Plague Ridden, and Regen. Oh, Plague Ridden works kind of the same way in that, like, if you kill a piece, you can bring it back, but you now have to pay for it. You don't get it for free. But again, they're
cool.
only 35k. Bloaters. So movement 4, strength 4. They're the old tough dudes. Foul appearance. Disturbing presence, which you hated playing against. Foul appearance is now so good. And I actually put it on like my ball carrier. And the reason I do it, people are going to be like, oh, you're fucking crazy. So if you put it on your ball carrier and your opponent fails the roll, he has to re-roll it, because otherwise he doesn't move. Like I said, with the dump off, the roll is now at the point of declaration. So if you're 6 squares away from him and you declare you're going to blitz him, if you fail the roll, you don't move. So not only are you not knocking the piece over or pushing it, or you're not basing it, you're also not in the right area of the field for the next turn. So it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I think it's a big buff. I think
that's foul appearance.
Yeah. So
So if I come after you and you have foul appearance, I am rolling that foul appearance from the other side of the pitch.
If you're trying to blitz me, yeah.
Yeah. And then if because it used to be I would run right up and then be like, oh, this is disgusting. I don't want to touch this.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing that from across the field and being like, actually, yeah, no, I'm not running this play.
Yeah, that's it. And it has won me games on Fumble. It has won me games because let's say it fails once or twice a game. If you're not going to blitz with a shit piece, are you? So it's like leaving a good piece completely out of the way. And that helps with their lack of mobility. It helps you get round and set up flanks and stuff like that.
Yeah. So and it's just a passive ability. It's freaking great. I love those.
Yeah,
big fan.
Yeah, I love it. Then the Rot Spawn, or the Beast of Nurgle as we used to know it. So Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, Learner 4+, Mighty Blow, Plague Ridden, really stupid, Regeneration, and Tentacles. It's also 140k, so it's actually cheaper than a Mino. Tentacles has changed, so I sent you a load of maths on this. Let me just refer to my little notepad. So Tentacles isn't as good. It's no longer your opponent doing the dice roll either, it's you. But the way it works out is if it's if you're tagging a strength 3 piece with the beast, you need to roll a 4+ to stop them moving away. And that includes things like sidestep. So if they try and sidestep out of your thing, or if they block another piece and try and follow the block or blitz, because it's a voluntary piece of movement, you still get to roll this. So you can no longer blitz off a beast anymore without having to roll for the tentacles. So there's a difference. So yeah, 5 to strength 3, you need a 4 up. Strength 5 to strength 2, which is like your gutter runners, stuff like that, it's only a 3 up. You can't re-roll it though, because it's in your opponent's turn, so it's a one shot. You either get it or you don't. And then it becomes less effective the closer the strength is. But on a strength 4 piece, you still stop a gutter runner 50% of the time on a 4 up, and a 6 is always you make the grab as well. So it's quite good. I think the setup now is a bit more risky. Because if you lose your Pestigore, you now can't go, well, I'm just going to pick it up on a Rotter because it's a 4-up now, so you've basically got like Khemri. But you get the second Pestigore pretty early. There is an interesting setup that I've seen people take, which is 3 Warriors, 3 Pestigores, 4 Rotters, and the Beast. I'm going to try that probably Tuesday and see how that works out, because you've got way more speed then, way more regen, and these guys are the only team in the starting set that have regen on all their players, bar the Linos, but they're shitty.
Expensive rerolls.
Yeah, they always fucking are. But again, more money, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, they are considered to be dog shit though. Like if you ask anyone that's good at the game, they're Nogla dog shit. And the reason I think they're good is because I'm bad at the game. So it's one of those things. If you listen to smart players, you wouldn't play these. But it.
Yeah, you play a tough Nurgle team though.
Certainly appreciate that.
You maximize those like passive abilities. Once you start getting the freaking all those mutations going, it's even worse.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So next up we got Old World Alliance. So basically, so you've got. I would suggest anyone that's going to play these, they take a look through, because things are quite different for them. So, for example, you get human lineman, human thrower, catcher, and a blitzer. And they're pretty much the same. The dwarfs, they have armbar and brawler. So the blockers have armbar and brawler. They don't have block and tackle. And armbar is that skill I was talking about earlier, where it's +1 if you fail your dodge away. The runners have sure hand. The blitzers have block and thick skull. The troll slayers have block, dauntless, frenzy, thick skull, and then you got halfling hopefuls on there as well. They can take either an ogre or a treeman as well, which is pretty cool. People seem to be saying that these are a very good roster, despite the fact that you got a lot of loner in here. Loner 3+ and all these. I don't know enough about them. Yeah. Purple Chest did a really good review of these guys a couple of weeks ago. So I think if you want some like real in-depth breakdown of these guys, probably go listen to that. I'll put a link in it in our video. No, I'm not. I'm too lazy to do that. Just I know myself, I'm not going to do that. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to edit out those World War II comments. So we'll see if I can get rid of those. There might be an awkward cut just random in the video, guys, where we lose like 10 seconds. It's definitely
there's some music playing.
Yeah, so this is just some elevated music. But yeah, I mean, anything jumping out with these guys for you?
No, this is another team I played with in the beta, and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. Well, also I just didn't. I was like, why is there animosity between freaking dwarves and humans?
Because they don't like they don't like each other.
Why?
Because
what do you mean?
The dwarves,
what did they do?
The dwarves complain that the door handles are too high, and they can't get to them. I think that's what it sort of stems around. Right. So next up, orcs. So for I guess magic, you got orc linemen, pretty much the same. Orc throwers, pretty much the same. Blitzers, pretty much the same. Big uns. Now these used to be called black orcs. They now have movement 5. That's pretty big. They feel very quick around the field, and yeah, they're good. I've got an orcs team on Fumble. It's doing really well. The black orcs the big uns are pretty good. You got your goblins, and then you got your troll. It's not trained though. It's untrained. It's actually called untrained because these guys don't train.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Zero care.
But it can still vomit. So yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a good build. You don't get your troll in any of the starting rosters for this. So you do your 4 blitzers. This is the best setup. Your 4 blitzers, 3 big uns, 4 liners, 3 rerolls. and it's a solid starting team. And I think if you're new to the game, so Sean, if you're looking for a team to play, these might be the ones for you. If you Magic, then I would really challenge yourself to try a more difficult team.
Yeah, that thrower, he only has passed 3+.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not supposed to be a passing team, are they? They just kind of rumble along, and also with animosity as well, they've got to roll an animosity roll if they want to pass to another player. So a lot of people don't take the thrower; they just pick it up on a blitzer and then rumble down the field.
Wait, animosity? So if you're throwing from an orc to an orc, there's animosity?
Yeah,
Or is it just orc to goblin?
Anything with animosity.
Anything with animosity?
I think, to be honest, it's one of those rules that I read a long time ago and forgot about. But Chaos Renegades have this on most of their players as well.
Yeah, because that was the thing when I was yeah, because I seem to remember like that when it fails, it's so brutal. Because they're like, "Hey, I need this to work." And it's like, nah, I don't like that guy. I'm like, what?
I mean,
Just freaking throw him the ball.
That's pretty much it. That is pretty much it now. But yeah. So yeah, they're a strong team. It says tier 2 here, but I think in a league format you could argue that they're tier 1. And I think if someone is looking to just do their first league of
All
Blood
teammates.
Bowl,
Yeah, it says all teammates in brackets here.
Yeah.
Animosity, all teammates.
Yeah.
Why even have pass?
What's the point?
Should be a runner.
And then number 12, we've got through these fairly quickly, actually. You got Skaven. So this is for grid. You got your Linos. They haven't really changed. You got the Gut Runners. The big change here is you can't make the movement 10 anymore. So for one turn.
Oh, they max it?
I think 9's the maximum speed.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I think one turns are a little bit more difficult now in some ways, in that you've got to do chain pushes. But now because you can do all the rerolls in one turn if you wanted to, they're in some ways a little bit easier. Throwers, they got 2+ pass, so I think the thrower is actually a really good player now, and he used to not really have a place on the Skaven team. You got 2 blitzers, and then you got the Rat Ogre, and again with that animal savagery, so if you have to move with him, you just punch a rat and then go for it.
Frenzy, Mighty Blow, Tail, yeah, great piece.
I think you do well with these guys. This is the team I was going to try and convince you to play.
These guys?
Yeah.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
I think you do well. Your optimistic play style, I think, would link in very well with these guys.
Because they're blitzers. Did the blitzers always have AV8?
Yeah. That was like the only reason I would take them, because I'm terrified of AV7.
Yeah, AV7 can just well, you're playing with fire with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it. So what is Crespo playing?
Yeah.
There's no Lizardman.
I know. I'm trying to talk him into Nurgle at the moment.
That's a shift. That's a shift.
He's not going to notice. Just don't worry about it.
Just play them the same way. Just load up that one player with all your skills and have him just freaking be your ball carrier.
He'll keep all his rotters at the back to protect them. So he used to play his fucking lizard.
The 4 rotters in the back, yeah. Just have all 5 big guys just managing the game.
And then they'll win, and then he can do what he wants. But no, I think he'll do all right. I think he's going to go with a more bash focused team, and you never know. 6 p.m. UK tomorrow, they might have announced Lizardmen, because there's a developer live stream tomorrow at 3 o'clock UK time, and they're going to
last minute.
Yeah, wow. They're going to talk about what team's going to be released first and things like that. So we'll already have the answers by the time we come around.
What's the most popular request?
Oh, I don't know. I'd love to see Khorne personally. I think Khorne are great fun, but I doubt they'd do that so quick.
Yeah, I'm surprised like Woody's isn't a day 1 release.
Is Wood Elves not in this?
Because like they have all the pieces for everything else. Like they have the Treeman built in already.
I don't think they are a release team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're not a release team. But they're dog shit. Woodies are dog shit.
They're not really.
They're one of the worst teams now, apparently. I played against them in NAF against a good coach because I played him in multiple tournaments, and I pitch cleared him in like 6 turns with Chaos Renegades, who are terrible. I was 1-on-1. I was 0-1-1 on the day, and I got Wood Elves last, and I thought, oh fuck, they always used to just destroy me. And as soon as I put my 3 big guys down on the table, he just went, fucking hell. that was kind of it. Just smashed him. But yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. I think it's James or Jamie. It's been a while since I played him now. But yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all I was looking at cover today. So thank you very much, Yates. It's great to have you back. Generally really excited. I hope you... Oh, yeah, shit, guys. So just like some key dates, I did say them in the other video. So we've got the Community Night Tuesday from 7 o'clock UK time, where I believe Yates will be putting his belt on the line. And yeah, then the league start's going to be the 6th, which is the first Monday after payday. So I think it's in about 2 weeks' time. Just so everyone's
When's that date again?
6th. So basically, yeah, I was thinking like the week after launch, but that falls on the 27th because we roll on Mondays. And in the UK, we all get paid on the 28th. So if someone's waiting for payday to get the game, just give that extra week so people have got time to do that. And we can do some more community stuff between now and then anyway.
Yeah, we can work out some kinks.
That's it. So, right. Any message before I hang up? Not hang up before I end the little broadcast.
No. So we get in the game tomorrow.
Yes.
True. And then we freaking kicking things off on Tuesday.
Yep, I had already made commitments with my partner for tomorrow night because it was supposed to be Tuesday that it was releasing. But in some ways it's better because we can all download the game Monday. Any server issues, they can get sorted out during the day on Tuesday, and then we should be good to play.
Okay. And then, oh man, I'm gonna come after you so hard in the league. I'm coming with Dark Elves. I've already decided.
Okay, so what team should I go with then? You know me. Do I do Nurgle? Do I do Chaos? Or do I do my Renegades?
Honestly, the one I want you to play the least is Nurgle. And because of that, I want you to play them.
Okay.
But the one I've heard you talk about the most, going back, this is a long time now. Okay. When this whole thing got, the first team you were really excited about was the Chaos Renegades.
3 big guys. Okay, I'll do it. That's it. You've
3 big guys? Yeah. You're going to go 3 big guys?
I'll be going 3 big guys. I'll be failing all my activations, and I'll be blaming you. Now, I think it might be good for me because if I take Chaos Renegades, I'm accepting that I'm not winning. But I might have a lot of fun. I'm going to cause a lot of casualties, and I'll get to play around with some cool stuff. So you've made the decision. I'll be doing Renegades. You'll be doing Dark Elves. It is convenient that Yates is picking a tier 3 team for me and a tier 1 for himself, but I'm not surprised. It's the only way he's going to hang on to that belt for more than a week. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Again, Yates, thanks for coming back, man. Super glad to have you here. And yeah, hopefully catch you on the league. See you soon.
Take care, boys.